how living with HIV is criminalized.
Why do I have to go
Interesting to see.
register as a sex offender?
The fuck
I'm
do you
not a
mean?
sex offender. I'm HIV positive. I did not understand the criminal laws on HIV until I was charged.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You have to pay your $150 fees. Anywhere a child would be, you can't go. I got handcuffed, and all I heard was, your bond is set at $100,000.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a wild story.
In
What the fuck?
2006,
Tennessee, huh?
I met a gentleman. I let him know that I was HIV positive. He was fine with it. We dated. The relationship wasn't going good. So we mutually decided to separate. What I didn't know that he was about to file charges. The police officers came into my job and they asked me, was I LaShonda Salinas? And I told them, yes, sir, how may I help you? And he tells me, your boyfriend has filed charges against you for criminal exposure to HIV. At that moment, my heart sank. The first plea was 3 years in a woman's prison. The second plea was a year and a half in the women's prison and a year and a half on probation. I didn't accept any of those pleas.
What the fuck is up with the steering wheel? Why could you turn it like 200 times? That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. Hold on. It makes sense. Donating blood, you should not be allowed to do that with HIV. I agree. Exchanging drug paraphernalia. I don't know what the fuck that means. Exchanging drug paraphernalia. I don't know what that means. So I can, potentially exposing others to HIV. I mean, if I tell you, yo, dude, I have HIV, you still want to fuck, and you still do, then, your own fucking fault, bro. The proving part is hard, I guess. But,
On March 26th.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. It's better this way than like if nothing happens. So imagine, okay, you get a girlfriend, you do your thing. 2 years later, you're HIV positive. You're like, what the fuck? What happened? How did it happen? Right? And she didn't tell you. And then she says, well, I did, but she actually didn't. You fucked it. You fucked. So I think it's not bad that you have to. It's honestly not that hard. If you have a partner who's like, yeah, fuck it, you have HIV, I don't give a shit, then it shouldn't be a big problem for them to sign the paper.
My father passed, and I'm in jail. My case manager got everything together to get me a furlough so I could go home and at least pay my respects to my father. Day before my father's funeral, my public defender, she told me that my furlough was granted. And also there was one last plea, and that was 3 years probation. I accepted. I went before the judge to sign my plea, and at that time, what I didn't know, my life was about to change.
Right now, we're fixing to head to the sheriff's department where I have to go and pay my registry fees at. That is $150 a year, and the registry I have to do is every 3 months.
My probation officer called me at work and told me, you've got to go register as a sex offender.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, ma'am, you got the wrong person. Sorry.
I mean,
you have the wrong person.
It partly makes sense.
I've never
right?
done anything to a child. Why
okay, but
do I have to go register?
Why the fuck would you only go on the sex offender list if you did something to a child? Like, if I go and rape an adult woman, right? Like, I should still be put on the sex offender list. That makes sense. And in this case, like, she didn't have proof. Maybe she didn't know, but in Germany we say Unwissenheit schützt vor Strafe nicht, which essentially means just because you didn't know, it doesn't like save you in front of getting the punishment. And as much as he can like, be empathetic towards the situation, as much as I can feel for it, yeah, it's fucked that she's stuck with HIV. But I feel like it is not that unfair to in a situation like this be put on the list simply because she should have informed herself and have written consent by the boyfriend.
But she told me because of the Tennessee code, I had to go register as a sex offender.
Yeah.
Being a sex offender in Tennessee means you can't be within 1,000 feet of a school. You
crazy.
cannot reside with another sex offender. You cannot go to a library. You can't go to a daycare. If you do get caught, the first consequence is 90 days in jail with a $350 fine.
Crazy. Wait. Some states require people convicted of HIV crimes to register. Yeah, duh. Fucking hell, of course. If you committed a crime. Fuck this. How is this bad? Can we agree that this isn't bad if you committed a crime that you registered for it?
My name is John Ray Clemens. I represent District 55 in the Tennessee House of Representatives. The laws that are still in the books in the state of Tennessee and many other states, unfortunately, don't reflect any of the scientific advances that we've made through decades of research. We've worked on this for...
Okay, dude. Come on. Even if you, don't die from fucking HIV anymore, there's medication you can, fucking treat it, but still, if I knowingly give someone HIV, I deserve to be punished. And if I do not get written consent that they know about my illness, right? That they know about it. If I do not get the written consent that they still want to proceed, I'm just straight up dumb. I'm sorry.
years. I've introduced legislation to update the laws. We have made multiple efforts at this. I've had a loved one suffer from and die of AIDS. You shouldn't need to see that to be motivated to work on this issue or to have a little compassion or empathy towards those who suffer from this.
Like I said, it's nothing. It has nothing to do with empathy. I feel for it. Like it's bad that she has HIV, but dude, she still has to adhere to the fucking rules. She still has to adhere to the rules. Like that's obvious. It's super obvious to me.
Terrible disease, but having seen it, I'm certainly motivated and I'm going to continue to fight.
My story with HIV began when I was 16 years old. I was in a relationship with a gentleman that had AIDS, and he didn't tell me.
See, exactly. You don't want that to happen to anyone else, do you?
That's how I became HIV positive.
Hello, officer.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
When I was in high school, there was a blood drive at the school, so I gave blood, and I get a letter in the mail from American Red Cross.
LaShonda Salinas. Yes, ma'am.
And all I see is HIV antibodies. The first thing that came to mind was, I'm never gonna have kids. Who's gonna want me? I'll never be in a relationship. I'm gonna die soon, so why do anything? I had to tell my mother. I think that was the hardest thing I ever had to go through at the age of 16.
No, I feel for that, dude. It sucks. It is really fucking bad, but still.
It was a secret that I carried through school, but in the year 2000, it did come out, and the best friends that I had, they left. I had maybe 2 or 3 that stayed with me. And actually, I went homebound school that year. At that point, I'm in a state of depression. Nobody wants to be around me. I contemplated suicide. I had my family for support, but like friends, I didn't have any. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it together.
That's correct.
Who the fuck is Jeff?
I feel drained because it's like when I do this, I tense up.
Why the fuck would I
because
film a
of
gun?
stuff. Knowing in my heart I didn't
Make
do
it more
anything
dramatic.
wrong. After I register and everything, I go home and I just relax the rest of the day. I don't do anything just to get my strength and everything back up because this is an exhausting part of my life.
Lawmakers in Tennessee did recently agree to remove HIV exposure from the list of criminal offenses that require sex. Why? Why? Dude, if I go around with a give you cancer gun and I shoot you and you get cancer, I should get fucking. This is stupid as fuck, brother.
Finally, we were able to get some people across the aisle and make a little progress. This new bill removes people who are dealing with that infectious disease from the sex offender registry, which is archaic in nature to begin with. We really need to take additional steps to remove the stigma surrounding HIV and other STIs.
Nah, dude.
We need to stop criminalizing
Like, imagine
these
she can literally,
individuals.
like, I'm not saying she will, but she can literally go around, give people HIV on fucking purpose, and she's not gonna be put on the sex offender list. What the actual fuck?
Yes, 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 yes. It's changing. I'll have my life back. I can see families and cousins that I haven't been able to see because of this. Really, I'm not gonna know how to act because I've done this for so long. When it's time for me to come off, I know probably in 3 months I'm gonna try to go register. And I'm gonna have to stop myself and say, you know, LaShonda, this is not your life anymore.
Crazy. Exposure to HIV is still a crime in Tennessee. Good. Maybe someone in the comments can explain to me why this is a bad thing, because I genuinely don't understand.